Hello guys and welcome to Australian Football TV. My name is Daniel Nicoletti and in today's Vodcast we'll be on Tim Cahill, the Australian footballing legend and icon. Tim Cahill's autobiography Legacy was published in 2015. It is an amazing story on the hardships that Tim Cahill went through to become a professional football player and is the reason why I've chosen him for this Vodcast. My understanding of sports delivery system is that it is a pathway for young sports people to further develop and hone their skills until they're able to become a professional. I gained this understanding through my readings of the textbook and the lectures within this unit. This vodcast will delve into the start of Cahill's footballing journey, his beginnings, and what drove him to become a professional football player. Then there will be a focus on the format of the biggest competitions Cahill has competed in his career and the organisational structures of these. Then, his 10 biggest achievements. After this, I'll delve into the lack of sports delivery system in Australia and how other sports agencies assisted Cahill in becoming arguably one of the best football players in our country. Further on from this, I'll share my thoughts on the lack of development that has been occurring in our football system within the country. Tim Cahill was introduced to football at the age of 3, as instead of playing with toys, he was kicking the football around the house. This was due to his dad being a football fanatic, and interestingly enough, Tim Cahill became just like him. The most notable competitions that Tim Cahill has competed in is the World Cups 2006, 2010 and 2014. He's also competed in the Asian Cups 2007, 2011 and 2015, and being an overage player in Australia in the 2004 Olympics for Australia. The format of the competition within the World Cup is pretty simple. So the World Cup has 32 teams. This is broken up into 8 groups, where the top 2 teams in each group progress to the next round, which is known as the round of 16. The winners in each of the 8 round of 16 matches then progress through to the quarterfinals, and the 4 winners of the quarterfinals matches will then progress through to the semi-finals. And so the semi-finals is the last 4 teams. Firstly, the 2 losers of the semi-final matches will play in the 3rd place classification match. And then after this, obviously the final will have the 2 winners of the semi-finals, and they will play off to see who's the best team. The format of the Asian Cup and Olympic competitions that Cahill competed in are basically the same as the World Cup. However, the difference is that there's less teams, changing the outcomes of the group stage and later parts of the competition slightly. The sources used come from documents from each of their official websites, and also JNXU's FIFA statutes document. Cahill's second club was the Maverick Red Devils, and which is where he believes that he found his knack for scoring headers. And it is quite interesting, as later on in his career he is known to be one of the best headers in the world. So to figure out that skill at the age of 6 is quite unreal. He played indoor soccer for the Banshee Knights as well, which helped him with his technical development due to the tight spaces and sense of touch and ball control that you do gain within indoor, as it is a much smaller field. Next step in his youth career was joining the Lakemba Soccer Club, and is where he gained selection to play for Canberra Rep team. This meant that he would travel around Australia. This helped Cahill, as he understood early how the professional football environments are, and by travelling and being away from family, it made him mentally stronger. This grew stronger also through him being a part of the School Associations League for the school district team, the Metropolitan East. This gave him more experiences playing in competitive tournaments and testing himself against the best teams around in his age brackets. Obviously, the Sydney Olympic Football Club was integral in his development at the age of 11 when he started in the under-12s team. He was there for 5 years. However, when he did trial for the youth team, he didn't make the cut. This was due to him apparently not being strong enough, not being quick enough, and being too small in general. This did hit Cahill quite hard. However, he did continue to train privately with John Doyle, who was an who was the local soccer guru and an ex-Socceroo turned coach. He trained with him from the ages of 7 to 15. This disappointment did lead to his parents sending him to the Institute of Dicombe, which is where he did work on honing his strength, his diet, his jumping and running style, so he could improve in all aspects of his game. This did give Cahill that edge that he needed and brought back his confidence. Following this, Cahill did move to the Belmore Hercules Club at the age of 15. At that season he did start the 18s team, however he moved all the way to the first grade team, and he moved to the first grade team, made his debut that year and scored a goal in his first match. He was scoring goals for fun and therefore rubbishing the claims that he was not strong enough and he was too small. At the institute they trained him and helped him, and he gained this amazing jumping ability which helped him throughout his whole career. At the age of 16, Cahill was given an opportunity to move to England in 1997, and after having to think about the Australian development system for football, he already had a bit of a taste and knew that he didn't have much of a chance of making it professional through this system they have. Cahill does have a very good knowledge of sport delivery systems of football in his time, showing how flawed and one-sided they were. It was only the NSL, and if you did make that national league, if you did not make the National League, then you would simply not play professionally in the country. The problem was that the National Soccer League only wanted tough players. Therefore, Cahill and many others in his generation had to pursue a career overseas to make any chance of playing professional. When the analysis, I had a decent knowledge about Cahill and how he did not go through the sports delivery system within Australia to become professional. This story confirms limitations the sport had back with Cahill in the late 80s and early 90s, as many players like Cahill did not go through the system, as they did not apparently suit the physicality of the NSL, and thus excluding any chance of them making it in the youth Australian teams from under 15s up. This is still a clear problem today, however, as many players who make the national team when they're older and make the Australian national team when they're older and did not come through the system. This shows how our system does need a major overhaul. It needs a fresh start. They need to look at changing the people at the top first, and then starting new systems and just the little things that will help the system grow. An example of this occurring is Capital Football's strategic plan of 2016-19, which includes them having the Canberra United National Youth League team. This is a good step in the right direction for delivery systems in Canberra, so they can have a proper system to produce professional players, as there has been none recently. However, this is a good step forward. However, there needs to be more things like this throughout the rest of the country to get to where we need to be. This Vodcast has analysed the delivery of Australia's footballing icon and legend, Tim Cahill, and how his development through junior clubs, representative teams and other sports agencies had a huge impact on him becoming a professional football player. This in turn showed the lack of impact that the sport delivery system of football in Australia had on his development, as he's one of the famous players who fell through the cracks. While football systems have developed in the country over the last 20 years, these problems are still occurring, and there does need to be a major overhaul.